I'm dishing with musicians. I'm dishing with musicians. A talk show about history. I'm dishing with musicians. I'm dishing with musicians. Let's take a stroll down music history. That's the beauty of the theme song, ladies and gentlemen. It's a song that's basically become my Andy Griffith theme song at this point. I wrote that very quickly one night because I needed something, or at least I told myself I did. And that's it. It just turned out. It just turned out. And now it's like gum that can't get scraped off your brain. So here we are. Happy Thursday. We're in Lincoln, Nebraska at the Dishin with Musician headquarters here. What a fun night we have. We've already got 11 people. Gosh, they're just jumping on like flies. This is killer. This is going to be great. I have one of my all-time best friends in the whole entire world on tonight. And it finally worked out that we could do this. It was my plan to get him on here earlier, and it just never worked out. And then it's worked out, folks. And you're lucky. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you spread the word around town and share it on your social medias. And we're on YouTube. We're on the Zubar page. Thank you to the Zubar for sponsoring tonight. We're on, of course, the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame that sponsors this show, and KZUM helps us out as well. There's all kinds of great local organizations involved, and we just thank you for being here. This is going to be a super fun night of history. And fun and incredible stories and lots of laughs. So make sure to tune in, stick with us the whole time. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah, you do your part, share it. And let's get the social media octopus arms out there and get some friends on. It's going to be totally interactive, which is cool. You can comment in and we will answer your questions live. This is going to be a audio podcast later. So you can, check it out. If you have to jump off, you can check it out later as well. And this will always be on the social media platforms that we stream it to as well. So you can watch the video later too. So without further ado, I'm welcoming him on. This is Jack Hotel in the flesh. Ladies and gentlemen, the brains behind the organization, Mr. Günter Voelker in the house. Yay! What's up, G?
What's up, buddy?
How's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
This is great. This is great.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's like you and I, talk every night anyway. So,
right.
So why not film it and record it?
Well, when you're a kid and you're on a riff with some friends, you're like, someone should be recording us. We're so funny.
Yeah, we're so funny. I swear people laugh at us. You're right. Yeah. We're actually taking it to the next level.
Yeah. It's not usually wise. You're not being funny.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. At that moment, you're probably not funny at all. Right. Well, shoot, man, I just wanted to get you on here, and we have like a plethora of things we could talk about. Obviously our backgrounds are very common. Mm-hmm. Like literally, as you see, instruments everywhere.
That's right.
We love music. We love writing songs.
Love a lot of the same music.
Yeah. And, you were one of the very first people. So I grew up in Lincoln, but you were one of the very first people that I connected with when I moved back, which was like kind of like God sent, really. I mean, I think it was like a meant to be type thing.
Yeah, I remember it well. I remember the first time we met, and I think we've talked about this before because you remembered it a little bit differently because I think it was actually a little bit earlier than you thought because my boy Josh, our mutual boy Josh, was playing violin with you guys.
Right.
And I wasn't even playing music out at the time at all. But he and I worked at the same place and still do, as a matter of fact. But he told me that he was playing a show with you guys at the Bourbon just down the street.
Yeah.
So I popped in and and it was great. And, afterward I made a point of saying hi to you guys.
Right. And that was the very first time that I met you. And then we actually got deeper in conversation the next time we met.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was thinking, because you meet so many people and it's like,
Yeah.
and but you were right. And then I was like, oh yeah, we did meet before. That's right. But yeah, you're totally right. And yeah, and Josh played with the Bottle Tops at the time. He was sitting in with the Bottle Tops. And that was kind of, my first glimpse into a community that was so different than what I was used to at the time. And I will always just be fond of Lincoln's music community because of that. Because it was like a warm embrace. When I moved back here, everybody wanted to play with everyone else. Yeah. And there was no drama. There was no bull crap about it. Like I came in Chicago, it was not that way. Right. And it was I've talked about this on numerous podcasts, how it was just very segregated and very like, no, you stay over there, I'll stay over here kind of thing.
Right.
And it never was productive because of that. And so I just fell in love with it. And I was like, wow, really? You want to play a show again with us? You want to jam? Like somebody asked me to jam one time and I was like, what?
That wasn't really a thing in Chicago, jamming?
Not really. No, like you got booked and you played a show and then it was like, hey, yeah, I guess we'll see you later. Like, and that was it.
Feel like in different, I've never lived in a bigger city like Chicago. I mean, Chicago is kind of like the quintessential, like big American city in a lot of ways.
And I'm not saying there's no scenes there.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was going to say. Like
there's like the Hideout and, the bands play the Hideout. They all play together, Kelly Hogan, Joe Patterson, the Bloodshot Records people, they all play together. But yeah, I'm not saying that, but it's so difficult. Like I was there for 10 years and I never was able to really break into that, like that vibe of like community that Lincoln, Nebraska has and Omaha to an extent. I think Omaha has a really cool little vibe going on with some of the stuff Matt Cox and his wife are doing and
that's a funny
kind of stuff.
Like speaking to that, that's always been a funny thing for me. I've just observed, going way back, like well before I was even playing out, like people talking about Omaha and Lincoln rivalry and stuff, and I've never really perceived it personally. Like, I don't know. Maybe I have a tiny bit here and there, and I maybe I have some anecdotes that I'll keep to myself. But like, my experiences have largely been like, great people like Matt Cox, just like, people you love, like, and they just feel like they're in the club,
just in the scene. And I'm going to put this little thing up because I forgot to mention about it. But this is this is the nonprofit that this show is streaming through, the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame. So throw us like $3 or $5, and it would just do amazing for the organization. We buy plaques for people inducted in the Hall of Fame, and we buy all kinds of stuff to do the live streams with. So that would help us pay for it. So be cool and throw us a few bucks. But and thank you so much. But I will say that back in my punk rock days, like when I played with Hootenanny and M80 and Rocket FM back in college, there was a little bit of riff. I mean, there was definite like noticeable, but these are like young punk rock kids. So it was a little more of that, like, hey, you do your thing, I'll do mine. But not in the roots scene, like not in the Americana scene or the bluegrass folk scene here in Lincoln. Like never once have I ever felt like unwelcome, which is like really something not a lot of people can say,
Yeah. I've come, that's just like been the scene that I've known, just because I've always lived here, but I've come to realize, just from people like you and, other people that's pretty remarkable, really.
It is. And I definitely, I guess you're right. If you haven't experienced something else, you wouldn't have known. And I tell you, man, it was definitely known for me. And then Gerardo Meza came up to me that one day and said, you seem to be a go-getter and putting a lot of stuff together. You should start a record label. And that's when this started. That's when that's when you and I got together and really talked about the logistics of like starting a record label. And man, it just flew off the handle. I think we, in that first year, we probably put out, I don't even know, like 10 records, maybe. It seemed like.
I know, it seems like it.
There's so
It's
many
funny.
bands.
I have my 2 LPs right here, or we have 3 LPs, but I have 2 vinyl records.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I was just looking at the spines of them, and Good Sons and Daughters was number 4, and A Town Called Hesitation was number 28.
Oh, wow. There's that many between the 2.
Yeah, in between the 2. Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, we're up to 31 right now. Yeah. 31. And then we just, we're about to release Lara Hope's record, which is, I'm really excited about that.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
She's a very powerful rockabilly female singer, which we need more female presence on the label. And we've talked about that over and over again. It's just kind of a thing that hasn't worked out. And, we put out Hannah Zara's record, which is one of the greatest things we released.
Oh man, I love that.
Gosh, it's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
There's so many great records on the label. And I'm so happy that I finally got around to putting a playlist together where you could just really get a slice of everybody, and I'm constantly adding to that. So if you haven't checked that out, go onto Spotify.
Yeah, I do. I put that on sometimes. It's really nothing but good stuff.
Yeah.
And it gives me some pangs of nostalgia too. I was just thinking about when Matt Cox put out Nishnabotna, and I heard some of that in advance, and I was like, oh my God, this is like the best stuff I've ever heard. Like,
can I tell you my fondest memory about that record? When we were driving to Neely, Nebraska for one of the greatest moments of yours and my life. Yeah. We opened for Willie Nelson and Neil Young, and you were a huge part of that day.
Oh yeah, that was a trip.
And we drove up and Carrie, my wife Carrie, and I and the kids, and we played Nishnabotna the whole way there as we're driving through, Columbus, Norfolk, and then we get into the cornfields, and it was just like the most gorgeous thing ever. I mean, it was just amazing.
What's that first song on that record? Country Rose, I think.
Yes. Yep.
And oh my God,
that's on the playlist. Yep.
And that pedal steel, it'll just kill you.
Oh man, yeah. He plays with some incredible, incredible people. I mean,
some of my favorite players for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Country Rose, it's like number 3 on the playlist. I mean, I had to get it on there, and there's some great stuff on there. We ended up signing Will Hutchinson, and Orion Walsh just put out a new song like 2-3 months ago. I mean, these people are just cranking stuff out, and they're still doing it, and they're still like loving the fact that it's a place to come, and it's a place to come to hear all like-minded music, and that's what it's kind of become. It's a co-op, so like you put into it what you get out of it, and we've always told people that we don't have $1 million like behind every record like normal record labels. We're not a normal record label, and we've talked about that a lot too, but it's just been such a joy to see how it's blossomed over the years, man. It's really cool. So tell us about I want to know about, like, what did you experience that day? I don't think I've ever asked you that. Tell us about that. Man. Like, what did you think when I first, asked you to open up for Neil Young?
Well, I probably thought like, that's not going to pan out.
Right? Really? Is that what you thought?
Well, I mean, like, it was the first like huge thing, and I was like, cool. That sounds like Mike's dreaming big. That's pretty cool, Yeah. And I think that was my first kind of lesson in like, Mike will get some things going.
Yeah, well, thanks.
But so yeah, when you first told me, I think that was probably my impression. But then when things started to like, pick up, and it was like, they're in, this is happening, we're negotiating with these people, It's going to be here. I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Oh my God. Like, I think I tried not to think about it very much. Even still, I mean, in some ways it's almost in a very literal way, it's true that we opened for them. And then in some ways I'm like, well, I mean, it's not like we were, like in the same stadium and we were on right before, but then I'm like, it kind of is like that actually.
Yeah, it kind of was. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, we opened for Willie Nelson and Neil Young. Both of our bands did the Bottle Tops and Jack Hotel for a concert to stop the Keystone XL pipeline. So just so you'd have some context here. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a surreal day from top to bottom. I mean, I remember the night before going out, and Neil Young is notoriously like private and kind of even curmudgeonly, if I can say that, type of person.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm sure he just sort of was aware of it and dealt with it, that we were all like staring at him when he was like doing his sound check,
the night before he was doing his sound check. Yeah.
But that's probably my, out of everything, including being on stage, that's probably my standout memory, is just like in a dark cornfield in the middle of nowhere, like Neil Young is playing like classic Neil Young songs, like on guitar and piano, for like me and like 9 people.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. And I remember pretty much everyone that was standing there with us, because we all kept pinching each other going, dude, this is really happening. Like he's singing just to us. Like, this is crazy. And the moon
wishes we would go away.
Yeah. And he just, I don't think, he probably noticed us and was just like, no, they're crew or whatever. Or maybe he thought, just get these idiots out of here, probably. But it was just like, we kept quiet for the most part, and it was very professional. And like, but I remember the moon shining down, and I was like, we were literally in the middle of a cornfield, in the middle of nowhere, like a few miles outside of Neely, Nebraska, and Neil Young's just playing for us and trying out all of his toys on stage.
I think I like slept on a picnic table.
That's awesome.
Well, because no one figured out like what we were doing that night. Like, we just didn't think of it.
Nobody had plans. Yeah.
I think I just sort of fell asleep on a picnic table, like sober.
Yeah. Completely sober. Just like, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah.
Wow. Getting ready for like one of the greatest weekends of our lives. It was just like, wow, man, this is totally bizarre. It was absolutely bizarre. That's the only word I can think of, really.
It was bizarre.
Yeah. So we have a question from Brad Connie McKinney.
That's my in-laws.
There you go. Is there a live Jack Hotel performance on the calendar?
You know what? There is not quite yet. We do have a couple open talks, and we're just trying to figure it out. It's a tricky thing right now, trying to figure out what we want to do, just with regard to COVID protocols and stuff like that. I mean, I know that vaccines are on the horizon, and hopefully an end to the craziest part of this is on the horizon. Mm-hmm. But it's still one of those things. It's like, how much time, energy, or even money do I want to invest in it? Like, when we don't know what's going on yet. Yeah. And like, do I want to put anyone in danger, or do I want to be in danger myself?
Yeah. We talked about this earlier, man. It's a very touchy one, because I played my first show last Friday, and my only reason for doing that was to, like, in making sure that, like, it was totally safe. I mean, and mm-hmm. they assured me that it would be, and it was. There was people two tables away, and it was indoors, which is that was really weird for me, and it was not comfortable showing up, and it was just different. It was different. But I totally know what you mean. So the answer is probably, it's just kind of in the, we're on the precipice of change and vaccines and all this. Yeah. So it's getting there, but
it's getting there.
Yeah. I hear you. The outdoor shows are a little more comfortable than the indoor ones.
Yeah, and I've done a couple of little outdoor things here and there over the course of quarantine. Not many, really, only a couple. It wasn't the same. It's definitely strange. And surreal, and I like shaking hands or even hugging people if that's what they want to do. I've always been that way. Just kind of feeling like stay away from me is a very strange feeling for me, and even still after all this time in quarantine and stuff, like it still is against my nature. I haven't really adapted to it. We could talk about that forever, but yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah, it definitely has. But guys like you and I mean, we play quite a bit. I went from 80 shows a year to like 4. So it's just it's a very strange. It's a very strange thing, man. So let's tell the people what we talked about earlier. We're going to do a giveaway for those that are watching right now. I can either give stuff away, and so can Gunter. He mentioned earlier that he could. So, what do you want to? What should we give away tonight?
I'd be happy to give away a couple of records or CDs. We don't have Good Sons and Daughters on CD at this moment, but we do have it on vinyl.
Cool. Wow, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, I'd give away some stuff for sure.
Okay, and say I'm going to match you. I will give away for the second place person. I will give. I'll tell you what. I'll give a Cloud or Mountain record away for sure, and I'll give them a choice between a Bottle Tops or a Cloud or Mountain record. How's that?
What's the competition?
Here's the competition. Now we talked about this a little earlier. We want to know the best band name. Now. We're going to do a band name competition, so you have to chat in with your funniest band name or best band name. Let's do. What do you want to do? How do you want to play it? Let's do best band name for a. Let's do a 3-word band name. It's got to be 3 words. Oh, Ghost Meat already came in. Okay. That was your sister.
Hannah knows I like that one.
Yeah, Ghost Meat just came in, which is really funny. Here's a little fun fact about her. Did you know Gunter's sister Hannah is an incredible visual artist living in Lincoln?
Did you know?
This is true. I've bought work from her. She's incredible. She has some incredible work hanging in my house as we speak.
Hannademma.com.
Hannademma.com. That's HANNAHDEMMA.com.
Yeah.
Check it out. Had it loaded. Oh, dude, you're killing. How are you winning?
I think she meant that she had Ghost Meat loaded. She had it in the chamber.
Oh yeah. Why am I not seeing? I should be seeing all the comments. Why am I not seeing all the comments? So maybe people aren't seeing. Maybe people aren't seeing. Carrie asked me if I'm looking at Facebook, but I should see the comments coming in from everywhere. So anyway, best 3-word band name, and we'll just leave it at that. Let's just do that.
Should we give it a genre, or do you want to just leave it at that?
Yeah, let's give it a genre. Okay.
Swing band.
Okay, a Quiet Storm swing band. How about that? All right. Somebody from that's probably my dad, says Lonnie's Horn Dingle.
That sounds like a Semrad to me.
Yeah, that's definitely a Semrad. Okay, that's in the running. So Had It Loaded and Lonnie's Horn Dingle is on the table. All right. So keep those coming in during the conversation. We're going to check back with that as we groove on. Ghostly Meat Clumpers just came in. So go at it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, sweet. So, okay, let's get into this. Let's go deep with Gunter for a second. I don't think I've ever asked you this, but this is the joy of this program. What got you into playing music? What got you into wanting to play music? Like, what was your earliest memory?
I think, my earliest memories of like music as something that one could do would have something to do with my parents and the kinds of friends that they have. My parents themselves are they wouldn't say so, but they're both musicians. Like they're musically inclined. My dad plays a great blues harp, and
oh really?
Yeah. He hasn't been doing it, but he could do all the tricks. He's a
That's great.
he's a bendy son of a gun on the harmonica.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
And when I was a kid, Mom, played piano. I remember various songbooks open on the piano, and
Nice.
And Mom can sing and stuff. It is very tuneful. But neither would call themselves a musician, but that would have been my earliest memory. And then, they have a lot of musical friends, some of them professionals, some of whom you've met, who would come over when we were kids and bring a guitar. And all of a sudden, they're very much the life of the party. Like it all is surrounding them. All of my attention is focused on them for sure.
Right.
We used to go to this little hippie commune farm in Missouri called the Little Farm, owned by our good, dearly departed buddy, Herb Petty. And, he would host these incredible Memorial Day parties in particular, and people would bring instruments, and, I'd see like our friend Frank Meyer playing guitar, playing his great original songs. And, he's very participatory. He tries to get you going. And, I remember having a participatory impulse toward music early on from that. Like I remember, nice. I've never really talked about this before, but like one time around the fire, I had this like empty milk jug, just a normal milk jug, and I punctured it with this tiny little toy sword. And I found that I could get a pretty cool sound by flicking the sword.
Oh, sweet.
And it like worked with the song. And and I was really little. I was a little kid, and so like all the adults were like, whoa, like looking at me approvingly. I found this like cool thing to do.
Oh,
and I was like, man, I'm playing with the musicians. Like
you're doing it. You're doing it. Wow, man. That's awesome.
And then from there, drums became my first instrument, and much to my parents' chagrin, they've always been encouraging, but drums are very annoying when a person's first learning to play them, sure. And even afterward, even when they get good at them, it's like you can't
get away from it.
Yeah.
See, my parents were lucky in that sense, because I used to drum on my desk at school. That was my first thing to bang on, and then it moved to pots and pans, which I discovered later. But
very similar experience. I like in the process of trying to convince my parents that I needed to get a drum set. I just had like every bucket that I could possibly find overturned in my room, and they all made different sounds, and I arranged them just so. And I played,
awesome.
Different rhythms on them and stuff. And
wow,
I had a couple of drumsticks, and I was very annoying.
Yes,
very annoying. But also like kind of good at it, if you can be said to be good at something so annoying.
Sure.
So finally, my parents relented and got me a cheap but cool, sparkly set of vintage Ludwigs for
gosh,
just out of the paper. They were not great drums, but they were cool looking.
Nice. Ludwigs are great. Yeah, man. Yeah, awesome. Even if they're beat up, they're awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool. And they were blue?
I had a blue drum set, but these were red sparkly.
Oh, the first one was red. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the sparkly drums are super, super nice. I never did own a pair of sparkly drums, but I now have a pair of swirly drums. There's like
I like the swirly.
kind of a cousin to the sparkle finish. Yeah, it's very fun. But yeah, I'm very similar. Very similar.
Yeah, it sounds very similar.
Yeah, yeah. And it's nice that you played drums first. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think I don't analyze it too much, but I think it's probably fair to say that you can hear the fact that I played drums first in my playing.
100%. That thumb. It's the thumb.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
Just like having more than one thing going on at the same time, kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, your style of playing is very much finger picking esque, and it's the Travis style picking. Some of the bluegrass players would call the Travis style picking, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Or Doc Watson style, or
it's whatever I'm doing is some kind of like a real purist Travis style picker would be like, he is not Travis picking.
Right.
Whatever I'm doing is some kind of hybrid.
Sure. You probably you took it from a few different things. Yeah. But you play banjo too, but mostly you like to play clawhammered, right?
Well, it's the sound I like the most, but actually I suck at clawhammer.
Okay.
I'm actually trying to learn. I've tried to learn it off and on, and I've had it explained to me in every possible way, and I do get it. I get what's going on, but there's something about the motion of clawhammer that if you've been playing guitar for as long as I have in the way that I have, for some reason it really messes with my brain. Like,
interesting.
I watched great players like go back and forth beautifully between guitar and clawhammer banjo, and I'm like, man, that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
man, I love that sound so much. There's actually very few sounds that like speak to me more than like a well-played clawhammer banjo.
Oh, I know. It's
so like what our friend Max can do is like my favorite.
Oh, I know. Max Morrissey from Bud Heavy and the High Lifes and numerous other bands. Man, he's a local kid here in Lincoln, and he is just awesome at it. Yeah, he's a special player for sure. And he was another one there at the beginning. I think he was, in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he at Dugan's with you having a drink when I met you the second time?
Boy, if he was,
I thought so.
If he was, and I don't remember it that way, he'll be mad at me.
Yeah, I believe he was, because that was the first time I met Max. He was sitting down and you guys were talking, and
that might be right.
And you guys kind of both discovered at that point that I had a love for Doc Watson and old timey music, and that just blew the doors off of conversation.
Oh, sure.
And just opened up all kinds of ventricles, and that was a really incredible moment, because I think at that point, the three of us kind of said, hey, we should play a show. And in fact, I have a poster of that show that we decided to play. It was Bud Heavy and the High Lifes, Jack Hotel, which mind you, at the time, you weren't even playing at the time.
Right.
You were like,
brand new.
Yeah, so new to the scene. So anyway, get back into your lineage, because I didn't want to interrupt that.
Oh, no, it's fine. Well, I started getting into guitar because my dad had salvaged a guitar. I wonder if he's listening or watching. I don't remember exactly where he got it from. I know he was working on various. My dad is just an inveterate salvager. He's looking in the dumpster. I think
nice.
he like pretty literally just scrounging, and I think he's kind of had to get out of the habit, because my folks realized, like, what are we doing? Like, why are we collecting all this stuff like that we're not going to do anything with? I think my mom had to be like, you need the stuff.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. That's funny, man. But you can find some real magic. In fact, thinking of our parents' backyard, I can tell they kind of love that style.
Yeah, they're not hoarders. Like, right. My dad's doing cool stuff with the stuff he gets.
Right.
but yeah, I think my mom had to kind of put her foot down and be like, you need to not be picking stuff up out of the trash. We don't need more projects or more junk. But yeah, Dad picked up a disparate guitar body and guitar neck. They did not go together. And he, you know, a non-guitar player and non-luthier, but brilliant jack of all trades, woodworker and everything else, glued them together and strung the guitar up and figured out how to tune it to standard tuning.
Oh my gosh. Cool.
I know.
Wow.
and leaned it up against the wall and just sort of figured I would pick it up out of interest.
Wow. No, he just left it there.
Yeah. And I did. He was right. I picked it up just like out of interest, messing with it. Like, it's just that,
wow.
It was that time in your life when you're just a sponge for things, you know, and you're not like intimidated by things.
Right.
Like you're just like, I'm going to mess with this now. Wow. You know, I didn't have any kind of instruction on it or anything. I just, I figured out how to play a melody on one string with drone string underneath it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. Very much like a sarod or something like this.
Yeah, like kind of a, you know, dulcimer like kind of sound, and
yeah.
And strumming came fairly naturally to me because of drums. And then my playing style, I still love flat picking and can kind of do it. I can't keep up with a real deal hot shot like someone like Billy Strings or something like that. But
sure. Well, he's a freak. He's a freak.
Yeah. But I can kind of flat pick. But my finger style playing evolved, and that, you know, anytime I've said this, I've felt like it probably sounds like some kind of joke or cop out, but it pretty literally evolved from picking up the guitar, sitting down with it while watching TV or whatever, and idly playing it, and literally being too lazy to go grab a pick.
Sure.
And like, I kind of just figured out like that kind of style, alternating thumb style, just because I listened to that kind of stuff all the time.
Right.
And like, that was some of my favorite listening, and I just sort of adapted.
How old were you at that point when you picked up your dad's guitar? Rich Rodenberg asked a question.
Was that Rich's question?
Yeah, that was Rich's question. Hi, Rich.
Hey, Rich. I must have been 16, 17.
16 or 17. Wow, that's kind of a late, seemingly kind of later than I thought, really.
Yeah. Just into the whole idea. I was pretty late into the whole idea of like being a musician. I missed out on, school, like all the stuff that you could do in school. I probably would have enjoyed school more. I still would have hated it, but I would have had at least some part of it that I could focus on. Maybe I would have hated, band and stuff too. It's very possible.
Right. I'm giving a shout out to Rich.
Yeah. Thanks, Rich.
Rich is he's a great realtor. Hit him up if you need a new home.
Yeah.
He's a fun guy. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, that's kind of around the time I picked up a guitar, to be honest. I was 14 when I first picked it up, and it took me about 2 years to really understand what was happening.
Yeah.
And then finally I'm kind of cut myself short. My dad showed me a few chords, I guess, and then a pentatonic scale, which kind of blew my mind. And then
I think maybe my dad knew a chord or two.
Okay.
Just from himself, maybe he had a book or something.
Okay.
He didn't play at all, and I think he kind of showed me, and I sort of just forgot. But
nice.
That like figuring out chords and keys and all that stuff came later for me, for sure.
Yeah. We also had somebody, let's see, who was it? It was Alicia Steele says we need a Voelker family talent show. My gosh, that'd be a lot to chew. Good. There's a ton of talent in your family, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. They're pretty great. Great.
Yeah. People. Yeah. Your dad is one of the greatest bar dancers I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
And when I say that, I say when music moves him, which typically is all the time, it is so fascinating to watch. I mean, your father is like just this incredible soul that just moves. Like he kind of embodies the music he's listening to, which is really fun to watch.
Oh yeah, he gets down.
He does get down. And my daughter Annie has danced with him on numerous occasions, and it's just a splendid mix of chaos. I just love it.
He gets a lot of pleasure out of that, I know.
Oh, I'm sure, man. I'm sure. So for a long time, what I know about you and what we've talked about, for a long time, you kind of got playing music. You kind of started playing music in front of people, sort of somewhat timidly, like kind of very, very slowly, and you started playing with other bands. Am I correct by saying that?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you're not incorrect. It was a weird start for me. I didn't have a band of my. I didn't start writing songs until Jack Hotel.
Right. Like, your own material. Right.
As a drummer, I played in a couple of bands, and I also was a duo partner with Ember Schrag, who now goes by Rose. But when she was here in town, people might remember Ember Schrag.
Yeah.
And I played guitar with her, and stole whatever I could steal from David Rawlings, and that kind
of course, man. Yeah, what a great. I know that that David Rawlings, is a huge influence of yours, like you've talked about.
Yeah,
and which we've actually seen together.
Yeah,
we've seen them play together, and it's just Gillian Welch and David Rawlings are some of the greatest music ever. If you don't know them and you're listening to this and you're going, who's that? Make sure to check out their music, because in the style of music that we love, that you and I love, it's probably the top creme de creme.
They're royalty at this point, and
right.
They could just say, we're not putting out any more records, we're retired, and they could rest on their laurels and have like royal output, and still just be legends. They're in a very rare category. Like, if you think about it, for people who know them and their music, like no band or musician at their age, like who and like still alive and playing music is regarded the way they are, just in tones of awe. Like they're who you go to. That's the quality stuff. It's fair to say that they changed my life. They're one of those like small handful of artists, Gillian Welch, like they describe it as the band called Gillian Welch. That's one of those handful of artists that I could fairly say changed my life. Did I ever tell you how I got into them? It's very fun.
I'd love that. I'd love to hear that story.
It's funny, man. So long time friend of the Voelker family, John Schutz, who himself he's passed away, but himself was a great folk musician in the purest sense of being a folk musician.
Cool.
Knew all, like, was studied in folk music, knew like all these crazy, Appalachian field haulers and stuff, and would just like sing them out.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And he'd come to your party with like a literal mason jar filled. I don't think it was like super boozy, but like some kind of weird boozy mason jar, like full of mystery cocktail.
Nice.
And he would just drink on throughout the night. And then, like, during a moment's pause in conversation, he just starts singing some weird Appalachian field holler.
Just out of nowhere. Oh my gosh. Wow.
He used to have a practice of making like VHS mixtapes, just random stuff. So this is there was this one mixtape that had on it Pastor Gas. Do you know Pastor Gas?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel the spirit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's incredible.
It had like, this is pre-YouTube. This is pre-everything.
Oh my gosh.
So Pastor Gas existed pre-YouTube, but it was on this. Like, how did John Schutz have a line on this? How did he know about Pastor Gas? Where did he get it?
Yeah.
It was on there. And then like either right before or right after was this amazing set from the 90s of music from Gillian Welch and David Rawlings on Austin City Limits. And
wow, no kidding.
I wore that tape out, man. I watched that over and over.
Wow.
Like, it was just very haunting to me. And I think at that point I had already realized that folk music was kind of the folk and old time music were kind of the musics of my heart. And
right.
And they really just spoke to something ghostly in me, I guess. And I love them. That's how I found out about them.
Wow, that's amazing.
Like, that would have been around the same time, man. I must have been 17, 18.
Wow, that's awesome. That's very cool. Yeah, thank goodness for the tape. What a wild thing to come your way. Well,
and like, they're so, like we were saying, they're so legendary at this point. I would have crossed paths with them musically.
Eventually. Well, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was kind of my big introduction to her.
Yeah.
And then from there, I mean, probably to millions of people, really.
Yeah.
Because
millions, yep.
I mean, that kind of was the reawakening, so to speak, of that genre, for a lot of things. And many people have talked about that. But we mentioned Max Morrissey earlier. He said, wasn't your first band the Dump Truck Angels? Which is, hey, Max, we're going to put you in the running for the best 3-word band name, Quiet Storm Swing Band. I think the Dump Truck Angels is in the running. That's pretty good. And by the way, keep those names coming in, folks. You can win either a Jack Hotel record or a Bottle Tops or a Riverhawks record. You can, or a Mike Semrad record. Yeah, keep those 3-word band names coming in, folks. Let's hear it. But that's incredible, man. Very cool. So that got you into, where does that put you? So that puts you right around like what age? 18, 19?
The Gillian stuff. Yeah, probably the same time that I was like starting to get better at guitar. So I guess probably like 18, 19, like starting to actually like pick around the guitar a little bit. And
right.
Maybe I could, like, if someone were playing, maybe I could join in a little bit in some kind of rudimentary way.
Nice. That's a good start, man. That's a very good start. We've got some cool comments coming in. So at what point did you want to write your own songs? Like, when did you realize, like, oh man, I think I could maybe get away with penning my own songs? Because I know you're a reader and you've always been kind of an intellectual type, and an incredibly smart person. When did you finally realize, like, I could put words down and make them my own?
Well, it's one of those things where, thanks, man. It's one of those things where, like, it took a while for my abilities, I guess, to catch up with my taste.
Okay. Interesting.
And I'm sure that's true for everyone, but when I'm not good at something, I get very like impatient with it and throw it away immediately. That's why I can't play clawhammer banjo yet.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, this is stupid. I hate this.
Even though you love it. It's like your favorite thing.
I do. I love it. Well, and it's one, not to get on too wild a tangent, but with banjo, it's like I could play banjo in some group and someone would be like, hey man, you play banjo, that's cool. And it's because I'm playing it like in my own kind of way that is adapted from my guitar style. I'm not playing it how I want to play it.
Gotcha.
But
interesting.
Like, which is, I want to be able to play great clawhammer like Max can.
Yeah, sure.
But I could kind of fake it like reasonably well and produce like decent sounding music on the banjo. so like when I'm so frustrated with clawhammer and I'm like, why can't I get this? I just start doing my normal thing. Like, I'm like, why would I struggle with this stupid clawhammer thing when I can make the instrument make music? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. I know what you mean. I get you. Yeah.
But that was a tangent. What was I talking about? Sorry.
That's kind of the way I am on mandolin, really. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I want to be better and make it sound like I'm playing a million notes, but I'm wanting to be way too tasteful, and I can't play that fast.
Yeah, I'm held up on mandolin too. I can play it, and you know, I know a lot of chords on it and stuff, and I can keep up a little bit in the group. And if we're playing a slow song, I could do a pretty lead on a mandolin, but I don't have the fluency on it that I have on guitar.
To actually feel the instrument like Brian McGovern plays.
Right, exactly.
He's a local player. I think he can actually get to a point where he can feel like what the melody should sound like, and that's a big turning point in playing playing a musical instrument for sure.
Right.
So so that kind of puts you. We had a question. Now this is an interesting question, and we can get into this more later, I guess, but later is probably now. I don't know, but this is a really interesting question, and probably in your timeline kind of fits. This is from Mr. McKinney again. Mm-hmm. How and when did you meet the great Dr. John Walker?
John Walker, you know, local music giant, John Walker, folk music player and scholar extraordinaire,
label owner,
like all the things. He you know, loomed large in my listening history. You know, I've talked about it a lot before, just how, you know, my parents would put on Dr. John Walker records, you know, which featured, as you know, like a lot of our friends, like David Morris, you know, Fuzzy Blazek, you know, Pete Blakesley, like Steve Hansen, like all the great players,
all the big names in Nebraska music history. Like
exactly, they're all on those John Walker records.
Yeah, they say follow the money. You can just say follow John Walker. That's
follow John Walker. He's the money.
Yeah, he's the money, pretty much.
John Walker, he's money the way Vince Vaughn says it in Swingers. He's money.
Yes, for sure. Yes, that's a perfect way to put it.
But they used to put him on the turntable when they're cleaning or whatever, and then when that record was done, they'd put on Bob Dylan or, you know, Eric Clapton or, you know, or whatever they put on next. I didn't have any reason when I was a kid to distinguish between all these artists, and then it was only later, like I was older, and I was like, John Walker lives here, like,
wow,
you know.
So you assimilated him with like the enormous names on the record player. Wow, that's awesome. It didn't,
like, there was no great dissonance to me there. Like, he is that great.
There's no question. Yeah.
So, and those records are that great, especially, you know, Anoki Boy is my personal favorite. I love them all, but that's my favorite.
Wow. Yeah. And you know, it blows my mind that, if you're lucky, you can still come across a John Walker record, like floating around record bins across Nebraska, which is like a super find, you know, and I always typically try to buy them when I find them, just to give them away to somebody else. But
man, it was a trip at his memorial. They were giving away, like, they just, you know, records from storage for him, and they were brand new.
Oh, really?
Yes. So it was an absolute. I grabbed a couple. I couldn't not. They were just giving them away, and saying, you know, if you already have it, give it to someone else. Just spread the love.
Right.
Kind of thing. Right. And I've tried to do that, but at the same time, I'm not giving up my inherited copy of Anoki Boy.
Right. I would not. Yeah. Yeah.
But
right.
But yeah, it was a complete trip to see those records in mint condition in their shrink wrap, because I'm used to seeing them beat to hell with like drawings on them and like someone's name and, you know, and like scratchy and stuff. These were just like mint condition.
Yeah.
So that was fascinating.
Wow.
But, okay, so I met John Walker at a Christmas party at Cinnamon Dawkins' house.
Oh, no way, man! Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a Christmas party at Cinnamon's house, and we got out some guitars, and you know who was there? I'm trying to think who all was there. John was there, and I was there, and Max Holmquist was there, and like a young baby Max Holmquist was there, and he just was just learning, and it's sweet to think about now.
Wow, that's super cool, man. I'll be darned.
But you know, when I realized that I was sitting there with John Walker, I was like, dude, can you play Sandhills Rat? I was like making all these specific requests from the records.
Oh my God, I bet he loved you.
Oh yeah, I think he was like, I think he felt like the superstar that he is, because I was like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
And
like seeing John Prine at a party, you know, it's like,
that's exactly what it was like for me. And I was eager to impress him. You know, I was like when if the song Circle or Swap or whatever it was came to me, I was like, you know, I'm going to play Diddy Wah Diddy, like Ry Cooder style or whatever.
Wow.
You know, to the extent that I could or can, which is, sure. You know.
And I think that's probably why he just adored you, because he did. He absolutely was fond of you to the nth degree. Every time I was around him talking about you, that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, I love that guy. The feeling was mutual.
And I didn't have a lot of time with him. I only, to be quite honest, I only knew him for maybe 2 or 3 years, seemingly, before he passed. And it was in the short time I had with him, I had probably had like, you know, maybe a dozen conversations with him, and 6 of those were longer. But through those conversations, it was always our dream to, we had talked about it numerous times, that we wanted to do a comp together that would mix his label bands with my label bands. And that was on the plate to do, but we just never got around to do it. And it would have been a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it would have. Would it have just like, would it have been more of a comp, or would it have been like a new album collaboration type of thing?
Oh, it would have been a new album thing. So the idea was that we had talked about bands on the label writing a new song for it. So it wouldn't have been like a song that they had done already, but his idea was that, yeah, we could get, you know, past bands to contribute a new song to it. So it would actually get some of the bands off their butt to like be creative that maybe weren't putting out a record. So that was really exciting to hear. And we just never got around to it. But what a cool idea that would have been, because some of the bands on his label are, my gosh, they're wonderful.
It's a lot of those. Yeah, Prairie Dog Records. It's a lot of those same folks, you know. Yeah,
just really stellar bands, and there's quite a few bands on that label, really. That he assisted in putting those records out. So, you know, we didn't have a lot in common, but we had that in common, and we had music in common. So it was really neat to you know, when he first met me, I'll never forget it. I think I was standing next to you, actually. In fact, I think maybe it was you and Nate Morris and myself standing there when I was introduced to him. And when I first met him, you know, I was really excited, probably in the same fashion you were. You know, I was just geeking out. I was geeking out, you know, and I didn't know what to say to him. And I was just like, hey, I'm just a really big fan of your music, and gosh, I'd love to, you know, just collaborate someday or do something. This would just be fun. I mean, because I think he knew that I ran the record label as well, and you know, and just it was wild, really. It was a wild moment, and it was only for a few minutes, and I just turned around and walked away. And he had asked either you or Nate. He said, "What is that guy, a salesman?" And I'll never forget hearing that, because it made its way back to me and said, John Walker asked me if you were a salesman. I just thought that was so funny. It's just so like him to be like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, he was
probably could
skeptical.
tell. Yeah, he probably could tell I was just overly excited. And
yeah, for sure.
Who the hell was that guy?
You know, it didn't take long for him to get to know you, and
Well, yeah, I think he became pretty fond of me because I asked him to be a part of the solar barn sessions, and he came out to a small town outside of Ord, Nebraska, and he recorded in a solar barn with all of us and sang a song that he wrote called "Windmills, Not Oil Spills."
Yep.
And he was so excited to do that because he was so passionate about that effort of the Keystone XL pipeline just being squashed. And we saw eye to eye on that. And that was a special time for me. It really was, to see him do that. And then recently somebody gave me a copy of his book. Have you ever seen his book, or have you read it?
Yeah, man, I have a very prized inscribed copy of that book in my collection.
Oh, yeah. It's great. It's called "What the Hoops Junkie Saw: Poems, Stories, and Reflections on the Passing Scene" by John Walker. And it's I think you could probably find a copy somewhere locally. Yeah. I bet if you called Cinnamon at Novel Idea, she might even have a copy, maybe. But they're out.
You could go to is Prairie Dog Records website still active?
I don't know. I haven't seen that yet, or recently anyway.
Yeah, I bet there's someone you could reach out to, because I know they were giving away copies of that book at the memorial. I'm sure there's still some.
Right. And I can just tell you guys, it is one of the greatest, most fun reads that you will probably ever sink into. And the stories are short. Some are longer. Some and he's got poems on there too, obviously, which is what the title is. But it's just a fascinating read. I mean, he grew up in his father was a pastor in Oklahoma, and he grew up in a pretty religious, from what I know, a very religious family. And he has some moments of just meeting girls and kind of discovering girls. And it's just like it's like Ham on Rye from Charles Bukowski or something.
Yeah, he's just coming of age, Yeah,
it's just a great coming of age story. Like, there's some really fascinating stories in it. I don't know. It's just great. What a fantastic read. But
yeah, I love that book.
You can tell he got into that, why he got into that kind of music, because it's very story driven. And,
yeah, exactly.
Just fabulous. What an icon, and like you said earlier, a giant, really.
Yep.
But I hear a lot of his music in yours, man. I really do.
Oh, well, that's a high compliment. That I'd say though that, and I've said this before, like that's no coincidence. There's I wasn't conscious about it, but there's a reason that, like, a configuration of my band emerged that contained an acoustic guitar and an upright bass and a dobro and a violin.
Yeah, right. I just found Carrie just chatted in and said KZUM has copies of the book for those of you interested.
Oh, great.
So reach out to KZUM. Wow, that's awesome. And I totally forgot, but the copy that was given to me was donated to the station by John's wife. So that's how I got a copy. So
that would make sense. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm going to put that up on here for those of you that are interested, but I seriously grab a copy of it. And it is a fabulous historic read, because it's just Nebraska history. It's, he always talks about Oklahoma, and he was an Oklahoma kid, and it's a really fantastic read. But, we're on the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame page right now, and my father and I run this organization, and we have inducted him into the Hall of Fame, but we haven't been able to do the ceremony yet. And so we're trying to find the best. And I think really what it's going to come down to is us just doing a tribute night. So obviously, would you want to be a part of that if we did that?
Oh, yeah. I would. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I figured. And we're going to get other folks involved and have a John Walker tribute night, and then have the induction. And I thought about doing a virtual induction, just through the pandemic, but I think John would rather have an in-person thing, and
yeah, he wouldn't dig this live streaming crap. He wouldn't be into it.
I don't think so either, man. What are you, a salesman?
Yeah. Just imagine John like live streaming.
Yeah, I know. He'd be like, "Ah, shit, God, what is
checking
this?"
the comments.
Yeah, yeah. So how are we doing on the band name out there, folks? Do we got? Let's see, 3-word band names coming in for free copies of records. Give us your favorite 3-word band name in the swing genre. Quiet Storm Band. I'm not sure what that means, but
no,
just go ahead.
Just 3 words, just whatever.
3 words. There has to be a jam. Yes, Rich Rodenberg. There has to be a jam. He would want a jam for sure.
Yeah.
There's a Prairie Dog Records in Edmonton. Didn't see Dr. John's. Interesting. Okay. Well, I wonder if that site is no longer, but I hope it's the list. Somebody has the list of bands out there somewhere, because I would like to put that on our website. There's I would guess, if anybody knows out there, how many bands did he put out? I mean, it's got to be in the 50s easily, because I remember seeing the list and it was huge.
I'm going to go on. I think it would have been, I can't remember, prairiedogrecords.com. I'm looking on the Wayback Machine.
Okay. Yeah. Prairie Dog Records is what it was called. If anybody can find the list of bands John Walker put out, that would be incredible. Or if any of his family's listening tonight, that would be kind of neat too. But yeah, what an icon, man. Absolutely. And like you mentioned too, his bandmates, Dave Morris, and who's the lap steel player?
Pete Blakesley.
Yeah.
And Fuzzy played with him a lot too.
Okay. Yeah. Incredible players, man. Just a wonderful experience to see them play. They were always, commonly playing down at the Crescent Moon and and LAFTA. They do some shows there. Fantastic stuff. Okay, so we've had. Oh, this is interesting. We have some questions coming in here. This is, hold on. Video question. Weird. Hold on just a second. Hi, I don't know your band. I'm doing this for my wife. What is your favorite instrument to play when you're sitting around the house? And don't say guitar, because we know it's probably guitar. What other instrument do you like to play other than guitar when you're sitting around the house? Is that good? You want me to do it again? Wow. What the hell was that? Okay, well,
that guy. I think I know that guy. I think he's a local businessman.
Yeah, I think he's a local business owner in Wiskatoot, Kansas.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an interesting question from a fan out there. Wow. What other instrument do you like to play?
Well,
we kind of already talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of did, but
he wasn't watching the program.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not a fan. So I married into a pretty cool B-bender Telecaster that my wife already had. So I like playing that sometimes. Yeah.
Nice, really?
Yeah.
Upholstery.
I'm not good at the B-bender, but I do like playing the electric sometimes.
The pull string.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's fun to throw in there a little bit. I remember the first time I played a B-bender was with you. I was sitting in, I was playing, can I say their band name? Can we want to be family friendly here, right? I was playing Shit Hooks guitar.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, I had a B-bender in it, and I didn't know that. I don't think I even really knew what a B-bender was. And he let me play it with you guys, and I was like, why is this out of tune? Like, what am I doing?
Because Phil Shoemaker had one.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't realize when you pulled it went out.
Yeah, and just in the course of playing naturally, like I just kind of move around.
You didn't know. Yeah. For those that don't know what that is, when you pull the neck down, the B string goes typically half step or a whole step up or down, either way.
You can adjust it to whatever.
Yeah. And it's funny. I just built one of those myself. And it famously was played on an album called Sweetheart of the Rodeo by the Byrds, which Clarence.
Which is not what I sounded like playing it.
Yeah. Clarence White was a genius, though, man. I mean,
Yeah.
he was actually a genius on that instrument.
Yes.
But yeah, interesting. That's interesting. Oh, we have another. Here's a weird. Now these video things are coming in here. Let's see what this one. There's another video. It does not get any better than this. I am just wanting to say a very quick thing. I can't remember the last time I wasn't listening to Jack Hotels, and I just love the Jack Hotels, and I just can't wait to go to the Jack Hotels. But anyway, I just want to say I listen to you when I cook, I listen to you when I dance, I listen to you when I wiggle, and I listen to you with no pants. And I am fond of your music. But tell us about one time that you just wrote a song and it just came to you. I wish I could come to you. Bye. Jesus. Who are these people?
That's like that's your cousin, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my cousin Karen. Yeah, she's a total drag. Her husband's a jerk too, by the way.
Is that the local business owner?
She is yeah, they're married, yeah, right. Wouldn't that be wild if it was all tied in? Yeah. He is. Yeah.
It comes hard for me, Karen. I've always said if someone could stand over my shoulder watching me write a song, they would wonder why I even bothered. Like it doesn't come very easily to me. I work pretty hard on it. There have been exceptions though, where I felt like, something about the song was giving me a lot of goodies, and I wrote it more quickly. And I think the quickest song I ever wrote was Too Long Away, which is also probably my best song.
You wrote that the quickest?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs that you do.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's probably that's probably my favorite too. And maybe there's a lesson I can glean from that somewhere. But wow. I like the ones that came hard too. But for some reason, that's just where my mind goes. That's usually difficult.
Wow, man. Where were you when you wrote that song?
Just at the dining room table before work one day.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a morning thing. I think I wrote it on nylon strings. And it wasn't, the song's in E, and it wasn't in E. I was like in, I just came up with the melody and some other fingering, and I liked it a lot. And it was just through a process of experimentation that I arrived at the idea of playing it in E with the capo on 2, but with the low string open, the way people do.
Right.
And you worked out for it.
You just released that on the last record, A Town Called Hesitation.
Finally, just released it. Yep. We've been playing that for a while, and it finally sees the light of day.
Man, I've been waiting for it. The first time I heard you play that, I'll never forget it. I was stone cold, like frozen, literally.
Oh man!
And I looked over at the end of it. I looked over and I said, "What was that?" And Kenny Kinlan just smiled. He goes, "I know, man."
That's really sweet.
And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And it was just like, it was one of those like, wow moments where you just go, that song is just perfect. It's just one of those, it's timeless. It when I hear that song, I think like, I think this is strange because I think like the early 1900s, like I think that time period, it makes me feel a time period, which is so weird about music. It makes you feel things like that. But
I know what you mean. I think I feel that too. Kind of the melody lends itself to a lot of different interpretations. And when we recorded that, we had Jack Rodenberg putting down a little bit of piano. He was doing a bunch of songs, and I was like, "Hey man, can we get a little bit of like padding piano on Too Long Away?" Just like something simple. We were just getting like a big anthemic kind of wall of sound type of sound for those choruses. And he's game for anything,
He's great. Jack Rodenberg is phenomenal. Yeah.
Well, he's just like one of those people. He like literally just game for anything, enthusiastic. You know, if you have an idea, he's just delighted that you had an idea. He's like, and it inherently has quality because you had it.
Yeah.
So we were recording at Maddie's house, you know, like our last couple records have been. It was recorded at home, largely at my house and at Maddie's house. And like I was going to the bathroom and I heard Jack like just tinkling on the melody, like, you know, while he's waiting for his next take or whatever.
Right.
And I ran out and I was like, Maddie, record that.
Oh, nice.
So if you at the end of the record, you hang out for a minute, there's some quiet space, like you know, it's kind of an old 90s move, a hidden track at the end of the CD. But there's some quiet space at the end of the last song, and then all of a sudden that comes in. That's what I was hearing from the other room. And
you can only hear it if you let it spin,
just if you're the way I see it is it's something that would come on if you were actually listening to the record,
right?
You know, instead of just like picking songs to listen to from it, which is also fine. But that's what I like about it. That's
cool, man. That's cool. Well, as you said, are we? So the vinyl is available.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
So for those that want to take that magic ride and just lay on your back and listen to music like I love to do, and let your record player just spin until it's done, you'll get to hear what he's talking about. That's super cool. Wow. Especially on vinyl too. That's magical, man. That's very cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah. You've got to be excited about that. So we've got some fun comments. Keep those band names coming in, folks. Ask your loved ones, ask your kids, or ask people that are around you, or text your friends. Josh Rector, speaking of Josh Rector, says, hi Gunter, hi Mike, hi Josh Rector. How you doing, Mike?
Hi Joshua.
One of the fantastic fiddle players in the area for sure.
Yep. And you know, a founding member of Jack Hotel.
That's right. One of the original members. Incredible. That's right. Yeah, man. He's, speaking of talent, that guy's
he can do it all, man.
Had depth with his fiddle is incredible. And now he's releasing his solo work, which is exciting.
He can do anything. It was so funny. We were playing a Crescent Moon thing, a little benefit there, and that was my first. Now that I think of it, we were talking about this earlier. That was my first indoor experience. There was no one there. I felt reasonably safe. There was no audience. It was live streamed by Basement Creators Network and stuff.
Okay.
But you know, it was just me and Josh for Jack Hotel, and I was like, tell them where they can find you, and he was like, you can find me on Instagram, and you can find me on my YouTube channel. I'm doing this and this. I'm putting out original trip hop music, and I did like
trip hop.
I think that's not what he said. No, it wasn't trip hop, but you know, he's making beats, and you know, he's doing like his own kind of original like Celtic influenced, like hip hop influenced thing.
Like
it's pretty amazing.
Scandinavian kind of stuff, or
he could speak to its lineage better than I, you know. There's a particular style of fiddle playing that he's really inspired by.
He's really into that's the style of metal, that like Scandinavian metal and all that kind of.
And he's a metalhead too, and he's
drop us a link in the comments, man. Let's see it. Drop us a link in the comments to your new sounds. I really want to check.
He just put out a Dungeon synth album.
He just says, fun fact, Gunter and I have known each other for 10 years next month. There you go. Yeah. Nice, dude. Nice. That's awesome.
Check out if you search for it on YouTube, check out Josh's song "Crossing the Causeway." That's beautiful.
Oh, cool! Crossing the Causeway. Sweet. Drop those links, bro. Drop those links. That'd be awesome. Very cool. Let's see. My dad keeps commenting in from the Performing Arts Hall of Fame page. Mike Sr. wants to buy a signed copy of Gunter's vinyl LP you're discussing. Well, there you go.
Yeah, hit the website, man.
Well, or Dad, drop some more band names.
Yeah, or just drop some band names. I'll sign it.
We have a few. Have we got the Schwing? That was another one. His first cajon was Brian.
I don't think that was a band name. I think that was when we were talking about drums.
Oh, maybe so. But it's a good band name. His first cajon. Tom's Sharp.
Not a band I want to listen to.
Oh yeah, McKinney says Tom's Sharp Harpoon. That's a good one. Tickling Ivory Ensemble. That's a pretty good one.
Kind of, not very swing specific, but I like it.
Rick Thumper Orchestra. Interesting.
Sure.
All right, keep them coming, folks. You can win that record. Keep them coming. Josh dropped a YouTube link in the comments on my page. I will see if I can. Let me see if I can copy this and put it in all the other pages here.
Oh yeah.
Boom. Ooh, that's a weird link. Hold on. Let me grab it from here. Thanks, Josh. That was cool. Yep. I'm going to drop it right here for all the folks. Boom. Check it out. Awesome. Well, let's see. We got some more. Let's see what we got here. We got some more comments here. Let's see what happens with this one.
Hi, Gunter. It's Cooking with Carol. You probably know what I'm going to ask. I don't got time to dick around with it, but I heard you wrote a song about food. Tell us why you wrote it, what it's about, and why it makes me weak in the knees. God, love it.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ. Hey, you're turning people on out there. That's crazy.
That took a turn at the end. It got weird.
So this show is called Dishin with Musicians, and we haven't really talked about food at all. I know that you are a huge foodie.
Oh, sure.
I'm a huge foodie. We both kind of got air fryers around the same time. You got yours first and made me jealous, so I went out and bought one. And then we talk about cooking food and sharing recipes all the time. But you also have written an incredible song about food that you sometimes play at the request of your mother, mostly.
Well, it's uncomfortable for a lot of reasons.
Shit, I know, and your mom always requests it.
I know. My sister does too. She likes to.
But it is an incredible song.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm talking too much, I know. But
no, it's okay.
I've actually told you that you should sell it to the Food Network.
Well, I feel like it gets lost. It gets lost that this is a double entendre song, and it's about sex.
Yeah, but how many millions of? I mean, like how many? Like Wynonie Harris, all of his songs were that way.
Yeah, but it's like if you think about it from that angle, it's kind of exceptionally dirty,
right?
And it's talking about three-ways and
yeah, of course,
fluids and
all the cooking stuff, all the cooking.
Yeah.
Such is life.
So yes, it's
an incredible song.
Well, thanks, man. The other thing about it is it's very wordy, and I don't perform it all the time, and as a result of that, I'm very prone to mix up words, and it's the kind of song where if you do that, the whole thing is just off the rails.
Yeah.
You can't recover from it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Totally get you. It's like doing Shakespeare if you haven't done it in a year. Yeah.
Yeah. It ain't Shakespeare, just to be clear.
Just to be clear. But it is good. It's well written. It is well written. So how did you write that? Where did it come from?
I vaguely remember writing it. It was in my dining room at the time, late at night, and I think I was just messing around on guitar and literally got hungry and went to the fridge and you know, I was, I think I was looking at something from the freezer, like the package instructions from some, I don't know what it was. You know, it could have been anything, a microwave burrito or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, well, that isn't very complicated. I mean, all you have to do is get it hot.
All you gotta do is get it hot.
Yeah.
That's right. Wow.
So that's the hook of the song.
That's the gist of it. Yeah. Wow. And you've never put that on a record? Like,
no, we will at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's a crowd favorite, and it's one of those songs that you know, similar to John Prine's fashion of just being incredibly witty and super comical at the same time, and while at the same time talking about something completely different.
It's not as subtle as John Prine, or maybe not as subtle as I would like it to be. I think it's I don't know. I almost get like embarrassed by it.
I know I picked up on that numerous times when people have asked you to play it, but yeah, I always find it funny that you know, it typically is a mom request, or it gets screamed out quite a bit at shows. It's pretty funny. But great.
Why are all these moms wanting me to play this dirty song?
Yeah. What's up with that? But let's talk about let's talk about food, man. Like, what is your fascination with cooking? And I know you and your wife, Katie, cook all the time for each other and, you know, for others. And your fascination with bread all of a sudden is just fascinating. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think it started really when I just started living on my own, and I was pretty terrible. And I think there was a pretty long period when I was living on my own at first where I would have been proud and pretty stoked that I made Hamburger Helper successfully, like, and followed the package instructions appropriately and stuff.
Right.
And, you know, I've done dumb stuff, like I tried, you know, cooked a chicken breast by microwaving it. And I was like pleased with myself that it cooked all the way through and a person could eat it. You know? But, you know, you just learn better ways of doing things. And, you know, I just, my style just evolved. And, of course, the internet evolved. And there's a wealth of information about food and cooking and, you know, anything you could ever want to know. There's about almost anything. There's a whole education to be found on the internet and on YouTube and stuff.
Oh, 100%.
And, really, it just it's not really that. I'm not saying it's not interesting or whatever, but it's not really that remarkable a story. I just like got better at it just from doing it and following recipes at first, and then saying like, well, you know, maybe this time I'm going to try to do that same thing I did, you know, a couple of weeks back and not follow a recipe, and maybe I'll add my own tweaks to it and get the general techniques correct and stuff like that.
Nice.
And when you study recipes early on, you realize that there are patterns to things. Like, you know, you want to, like in a lot of recipes, you want to, you know, put in your garlic first and not for very long before you add some other stuff, or you're going to burn, you know, you just figure stuff out.
Sure. Do you watch any cooking shows at all?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite one right now is a YouTube show, which is, I don't know what the show is called or if it has a name per se, but this guy, Nigel, has this great character called Uncle Roger. And and he puts on this like extremely affected accent. He himself is Chinese and can do this, but it's like a really affected, crazy comedic accent, and he just does reaction videos to other people making fried rice. And
oh yes, I know this guy. I've seen this dude. I love this guy.
Yes, he's very funny, and just makes fun of people's like bad technique making fried rice.
He's like, oh no. Yeah, he just comments the whole time. That is a funny show. Yeah.
Well, and it's one of those, like, I would love to I'd love to like do the voice, but it's purely racist if I do it.
Sure.
It's wrong, but he's hysterical.
Oh wow. Yes.
And he rips apart like Jamie Oliver. And I like Jamie. I don't think he's an idiot in the kitchen, but he didn't make a very good fried rice, and Uncle Roger did not approve.
Wow, he did not approve, and that's his character he plays is Uncle Roger.
Yeah, he's a comedian. He actually does. He lives in the UK now, and he does stand up and all kinds of things, or at least he has done stand up. I haven't like looked into his biography or anything.
Interesting.
I don't know if he's still doing that. He's definitely making a career on YouTube. He's got millions of
wow
views, so. Killer.
That's great. Well, I know when you and I got the air fryers, I was you invited me over, and this was like pre-pandemic. Like this was and you and I sat and ate chicken wings together, and you made me some of this incredible. You made 2 styles, I think. Yeah. One of them was like a garlic butter, like Alfredo type sauce, and it was like mind-blowing good. And then I think the other one was a barbecue, if I'm not mistaken. I think
it was just like a buffalo.
Okay, maybe so. The other one was so good, I just forgot what the other one was. It was just so because I hit you up later for the recipe, and I tried to make it myself, and I got it close. But it was this incredible garlic light.
Parmesan.
It was light. Yeah, it was a Parmesan, but it was like Alfredo, but it was very light. It was lighter than our, in my taste, it was lighter than like an Alfredo pasta or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But God, it was good. And then you got me on this crazy kick of making chicken wings all the time. And
I burned myself out on it because I was making them so much.
Sure.
The air fryer does them perfectly. Like the convection cooking just does the wings perfectly.
Yeah, and it's fast. Seemingly it's like you know, and they're crispy, and you just really got me on a whole kick. And I went down that rabbit hole pretty hard because I got in 19 into 20, I got my air fryer for Christmas, and I was like geeking out over it. So it was wild, man. It was super crazy. But yeah, we've done all kinds of weird stuff with it, and
you can do a lot.
And we've done a lot of fried pickles. We love fried pickles. Fried vegetables, we'll dip them and then fry them, or air fry them, so to speak. But I've not done like the stereotypical stuff. We've not done like French fries or anything like that.
I haven't really either. I've done some stuff with them and kind of used it in a few different cooking situations as like a second oven when,
cool.
I knew one oven was going to be occupied and stuff like that. If I knew timing was going to be a problem, it can come in handy with stuff like that. One fantastic use for the air fryer is, when you get fast food and you don't finish your fries and you're like, well, those are done. Throwing those away. You can revive those puppies in the air fryer. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's magical because I hate that.
Yep.
They're terrible.
Most fast food fries don't really survive the drive home even. So
no. And that's funny you mentioned that because every time I do get fast food, I always eat the fries first because of that.
You have to. Because
of that reason.
Yeah.
I just hate cold fries. So you're saying that you can put them in the fridge and then revive them later in the air fryer?
It's not exactly the same as if they just came straight out of the fryer at the restaurant, but they become good again.
But they're seemingly like edible later.
Yeah. That's
huge. Hannah Dema says, I'm sorry. Who doesn't finish their French fries? Are we related? Hey, I've gotten to the point where like we get the jumbo, whatever value meal, and it's just too much. But no, I hate that though. When you have a half eaten or a quarter left, it's like you don't want to throw those puppies away. That's an incredible revelation that we've just had tonight, folks. That's something.
I know this is going to sound crazy, and maybe this just sounds like drunk food, but I swear it's not. If you have fries, another yummy thing to do with them is chop them up a little bit and revive them in a skillet with a tiny bit of oil and not much because they're already greasy, but a little bit of oil, and then throw in some eggs and scramble them with the chopped up fries. I mean, they're just potatoes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tato eggies type of thing.
That's a sweet hack. That's like a breakfast hack. That's awesome.
It's some drunk breakfast food, I guess.
Yeah, drunk breakfast hack. He got half-eaten fries laying around, just chop them up, throw them in breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Here's a quick question for you: Dave Matthews or Smashing Pumpkins?
That's a tough one, man. Well, who's asking this? I gotta know.
I'm not telling.
Oh, okay. Is it you?
I can't tell. It could be me.
That's a tough one. Just
I'm sorry.
No, if it's for what has held up better for me, it's Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, nice.
But I'm kind of I guess I'd say I'm like a Dave defender in some ways because
yes,
like Dave fell out of vogue, and I think it's through no fault of his own. And that's like whatever style his band is, just kind of became kind of dated, and it's unfortunate, because they're all such amazing players. And what sucks even more is that like I'm on board with the datedness. I think it sounds kind of dated too, even though I can still listen to it, and it gives me like nostalgic feelings and stuff, and
right.
I can enjoy listening to it. Like I recognize that it would not come out now. It would not come out now. But and I guess Smashing Pumpkins wouldn't either, but I think it just sort of holds up better. Although, who doesn't hold up better is William Patrick Corgan. Billy has not stood the test of time.
Not stood the test of time. But I will say, and I don't know if many of you know this out there, but my wife, Carrie Semrad, she is a incredibly huge Billy Corgan fan. In fact, early on in our living in Chicago, Carrie worked at this really beautiful, incredibly popular bakery. And Mr. Corgan came in for a cup of tea and a scrumpet or so, whatever he had, a biscuit or a scone. And she even wrote "Step Off Billy." See, she's getting defensive already in the chat. But
we'll talk about it.
She came home that evening with a little mini hefty bag with a tea bag inside of it.
I remember this.
I said, "What is that? Why are you coming home from work with a used tea bag?" And she goes, "You have no idea. Billy Corgan came in to my shop today. He ordered, I think it was a scone and a cup of tea. And he sat and ate the scone, drank half of the tea. Carrie bussed the table. She drank the rest of the tea and kept the tea bag. That's how big of a fan she is."
Well,
Jesus.
Maybe I would have done the same thing. I'm not saying the music hasn't held up. I'm saying
she said, "Don't tell this story." She's so mad at me.
I'm saying William Patrick Corgan is off his nut. He's gone cuckoo. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, I tell you, but you can't deny Pisces is scary. You can't deny Gish.
You can't deny any of it. I would say that even though they're immensely popular or whatever, or have experienced tremendous success, I've always been willing to stick my neck out and say that Billy Corgan is one of the great underrated rock guitar players. Like he invented like whole approaches. And I was just listening to Smashing Pumpkins earlier today. So
nice, really?
Yeah. So and like some of that crazy stuff. I mean, Billy Corgan's guitar solos sound like a spaceship taking off, while also being melodic and inventive and virtuosic, and they're just like, like
right. All of it.
They're making all kinds of crazy sounds that
he's doing sounds that aren't ever heard.
Yeah, it's not supposed to come from a guitar.
No.
And some of it's his technique, and some of it's his just musical mind, and some of it is his multi-tracking approach, which I don't think he gets enough credit for either. Like,
right.
Like he made some really like in Siamese Dream and
that record too.
And Melancholy, like there are rock guitar parts that are downright like symphonic. That's the way they overlap, and like he's great. He's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry to put you on the spot like that. I know that
no.
I know that you love both of those bands for different reasons, and I do too.
Yeah.
I think Dave Matthews is totally in a category with a lot of people that's just like, dude, that guy is cheesy and that guy sucks. But he is super innovative. I mean, like, his guitar work is crazy. What he did with the duo project with the other guitar player, what's his name?
Tim Reynolds.
Reynolds, just incredible stuff. Playing Central Park to 150,000 people. Like, you don't get to that point unless you're kick-ass.
You're absolutely right. And I should be fair too and say that like Dave Matthews hit a those are actually two very interesting bands to compare, because they both feature a guitar player drummer combination that is unstoppable. Hi, Willis.
He loves to sit behind me. This is his spot. Watch, he'll peek out here in a minute. Yep, there he goes. Say hi, buddy. There he is.
Willie.
All right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like Carter and Dave and Jimmy and Billy, like those combos, that they are the band.
Right.
Like Jimmy Chamberlain similarly is drummers know this, but not enough other people do. Like Jimmy Chamberlain's like one of the top great rock drummers ever.
I'd say even jazz rock. The way he plays that kit, there's jazz in it for me.
Yes, I think so too. But no, that's absolutely true, and no one could argue with that. But he's also slamming the kit.
Oh, he's super powerful. Absolutely.
Like his arms are like something else.
In Chicago, did I ever tell you about the time I was working and then I got off work? I was working at a bar called Martyrs, and I got off and I went home really quick because there was a party at Martyrs later I wanted to attend. So I went home and changed into my Halloween costume, which was Teen Wolf. And this isn't like any crappy old Teen Wolf costume. This is like straight up like wolfed out Teen Wolf, to where I was like, I put fake hair on my face. I had a red wig and I had a leather jacket on. Like, I was straight up Teen Wolf. And did I ever tell you about the time that I went back to Martyrs dressed as Teen Wolf and he was there? Jimmy Chamberlain was there partying with his friends, and he walked by me. He's like, "Hey, Teen Wolf, what's up?" Like, he actually referred to me as Teen Wolf, which was like super incredible. But yeah,
Jimmy found his beer and you drank the last couple swallows.
I went and found his half drank beer and drank the rest of it and became this incredible drummer. Yeah. No, he was just there partying. I think he was just like, he had some like weird like makeup on. I don't remember what he was even, but he was there with a pack of people. And there was a band called Tributosaurus playing, and I think they were doing Led Zeppelin. And Tributosaurus was this incredible band that tributed a different band every month. Like, it was amazing. Like, every month,
that's right. I've heard you talk about them before.
Oh my God, they did everybody, like, and they would do not easy bands. The drummer played in Blue Man Group, and the two lead singers were disc jockeys on Carrie, what station is that in Chicago? I forget. But anyway, they were like really knowledgeable, renowned musicians in this band, and they would become these other bands, like not easy bands to become,
Right.
So like the Who, for example, like you can't in a month you can't just become the Who.
Yeah,
that's like a really hard thing to do, but they would do it.
The Who is like pretty prog at times. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. And anyway, they were Led Zeppelin that night, the night that Billy or Jimmy Chamberlain referred to me as Teen Wolf. I thought that was so funny. But yeah, crazy. What else we got? We got any more band names, guys? We got Revive the Fries. That's pretty good. How about this one? It Ain't Shakespeare. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Squirrel Nut Zippers. That's already a band.
Sorry, that's taken.
That's a swing band.
XRT.
XRT. Yeah, the station was called XRT.
Oh, okay. Do you know Andrew Bird and Jimbo Mathis from Squirrel Nut Zippers are like together in a little duo capacity, and they have a great new record.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I got it. I ordered it, and it was kind of weird. I ordered it, and I thought I was pre-ordering it, but I guess I was just ordering it, and it came to my house like pretty early.
Oh, really?
So I've had my hands on it for a little while now. It's fantastic.
Well, it always baffles me. Andrew Bird is an incredible player in his own right, a solo, like he's his own band.
Yeah.
And he used to teach at Old Town School of Folk Music, and he also used to come in all the time to Old Town School when I worked there to have stuff repaired. I actually repaired a guitar for him, and he was a really nice guy, super kind. Yeah. But I didn't realize for years that he played in Squirrel Nut Zippers, which was like a fascinating swing band. They were super top notch swing band. But yeah, that's incredible. Even in his own, like we went and saw him early on in his solo career and just blew us away. His whistle is like magical.
Oh yeah, he can do anything. I mean, he's very influential for me too. I love him. I got to tell him one time. I was at a show, and I was in the front row, and he had his little pedal board, and he's very cute. He was playing in his socks and stuff, and stomping on his pedals, and my face is like right there.
Oh wow!
And he couldn't get his rig to work. Like something was wrong. And I was right there, and I was looking at it, and I pointed out what was disconnected, and he was like, "Oh, thanks, man."
Oh, no way! That's awesome.
He was ready to like switch gears and do something entirely different to like save the show or something.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge, dude. That's awesome.
He was messing with it for like a few minutes, like long enough that he was like in panic mode. He's like, "Well, we're doing something else, I guess."
Yeah.
And I was able to point out what the disconnect was.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he blew up, man. He's like doing incredible, like huge festivals now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I saw him when he was just starting out as a solo artist. He wasn't very well known at all, really. But yeah. Yeah.
My cousin, Jen, whom you may have met, my cousin Jennifer, she brought weather systems over.
Oh yeah.
This was many, many years ago, like a lifetime ago. Yeah, she brought like literally like 18 years ago or something crazy like that.
That was a while ago.
Maybe more even. Brought weather systems over and played it, and it was very addicting. And
that would have been his first one, I think, wasn't it? Wasn't that the first? I can't remember.
Well, no, he's got. Before weather systems would have been the Swimming Hour, and before the Swimming Hour, he had a couple. There was that were like, I think the Swimming Hour was technically Andrew Bird's Bowl of Fire, but it's if you think about it and his trajectory, it's kind of his first like solo album. And then he's got two other Andrew Bird's Bowl of Fire albums before that are like more swing, like
that's okay, right,
like hot swing.
The one that really broke him was the mysterious
production of eggs.
Of eggs, yeah, that's right. That was the big one that we saw him. I mean, we saw him just on the cusp of becoming huge.
Right.
Whistling on that record is just, I mean, he would like loop his whistle, which was just crazy.
He can do things that I don't think have been heard before.
Yeah,
so
right.
That's a pretty rare thing to be able
kind of like this magical little like fairy whistle or something. It was very just strange to watch live, incredibly strange. So we have, okay, let's see, what do we got? We got one more. What is this video? We got another video comment here. Hold on just a second.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Gunter. I'll be darned I made it on the live stream. Boy, I love your music. I could listen to it all day long. It just takes my blues away. And the image of Harold floats out of my memory like some damn psychoactive drug someone slipped me at a party. But I do want to tell you, man, I was listening to your song the other day. Came on the radio. What the hell was it called? Barstool Pilot, something like that. Man, boy, I heard it on the way to work, and I just loved it on that radio station. You can see here I collected every pic that you've ever flung out in the crowd of every show I've seen. When you're in the middle of your rapid rock and roll swervy dances you do on stage. But hey, buddy, I love it, man. Keep up the juju and sending those songs out. But what's your favorite song that you play?
I don't know if these people are watching the show or not, but we've kind of already talked. But let's talk about the song that wacky person mentioned, Barstool.
Sure.
Because you already mentioned what your favorite, one of your favorite songs. Do you have multiple favorite songs that you play?
I'm sure I do. And I'm sure it varies. I've always liked that one. That one is kind of tricky because it's in a completely different tuning.
Right.
There was like a handful of songs I wrote like around the same time that all are in this same tuning that I learned from Peter Case.
Right. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
And
what tuning is that?
It's D-A-D-A-D F sharp, which is pretty interesting. It's I think that's technically the same intervals as open C, but like, so you could play open C in a similar fashion.
So it's D-A-D-A.
D-A-D-A-D F sharp.
Yeah. Interesting. For you guitar players out there, check it out. That's super.
Yeah.
So Barstool Fighter Pilot is the song that we're talking about. And that, so that's in that tuning. D-A-D-A-D.
Yep, that one and Sadie Says are both in that tuning. So if I'm just not very fast at retuning my guitar, and
right.
If we're playing like a tight 45 or whatever, our set is, like it's too hard to get into that tuning and then out of it again, right. And so I need to bring another guitar in order to do it, and that's not always very feasible either. So it's kind of challenging to play out.
Yeah. And I always love seeing the multiple guitars on stage because I know you're going to try that.
Yeah, or at least like it was in our minds. We don't always.
Right, it might come up. Yeah, and sometimes you bring a 12-string to shows, right?
I have. I haven't for a while. Actually, both of those songs were written for 12-string.
Oh, okay.
And on 12-string. But for quite a while, I don't actually have. It's funny. I have one in the background here, and I actually gave this to Rector, and cool. I just have it because he wanted me to do something with it that I haven't done yet.
Oh, wow. Okay. There you go.
But so I just have it in my house right now. It's his, and he'll get it back sometime. But this is the guitar that I wrote those songs on, actually, on the one that's on the chair.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. And it's not, you've actually given it away, but it just happens to be there. That's incredible.
But for a while there, I was carrying around Ryan Evans' 12-string to shows. He was letting me borrow it for a while. Yeah, I'd mention it to him sometimes, and he'd be like, whatever, it's fine, just hold on to it. And then finally, he rightly reclaimed it.
Nice, good.
I think he either wanted it. I think maybe he was selling it, which is, of course, his prerogative. And I just, I couldn't. I thought about buying it from him myself, but if I were going to buy a 12-string, I would want to shop around a little bit more, because it was a decent guitar. It was fully nice, but it was like black, and that's not, I want something a little bit different, but
Sure,
that was probably the guitar that you saw.
Yeah, probably so. I remember when, so the great Ryan Evans from KZUM, he has a show called Tree with Roots, 89.3 on your FM dial. You can find kzum.org online and listen to their shows. Tree with Roots is and we should talk about Tree with Roots for a second.
Yeah.
You know, that's been a show that not only is influential, but because I always discover new artists, but Ryan is really good about introducing new artists to people, but he's also really good about introducing local bands to people. And he always has been that way. And just a fascinatingly nice person, just incredible guy, and very knowledgeable on the roots style genre, the Americana or whatever you want to call it, genre. But I've learned tons of stuff from that guy. I mean, outrageous.
He's outrageous. He's also just like one of those quietly brilliant people. Like he doesn't wave it at you like how knowledgeable and smart he is, and all the things that he has like come to kind of be a quiet master of. He's just a humble dude.
Yeah, super humble. Yeah. When I first, he would have us on the show all the time. He would want to interview us, and this was before my wife became the GM of the station, which, funny enough, was long before that. We were actually guests on his show quite often, and he would play our music a lot, and just a huge fan of us locally, and just promote local music. He would just be so great at that. And then recently he got a job at the university, and now he's miraculously came back to the station. So now he's back doing his show, which is super cool. So,
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. It's one of the better shows on that station.
I love it. I've gotten to kind of co-host with him a couple times.
Oh, yeah. Cool, man.
Like pick out the half playlist and, talk with him a little bit. And we've talked about doing that more regularly. And that'll probably happen at some point. It just we keep talking about it and then sort of dropping the thread. But I think we probably will do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. Super cool.
I love that show.
Yeah, and it's just it's another avenue to promote music locally, and it just kind of plays into the whole big over big picture of what Lincoln is, the community effort and how it's all tied together and knitted very tightly together. And really, I feel that that's why we have such a great music scene, is because of that, of the support that other bands give to other bands. And not only that, the support that we give to touring bands that come in, to the Zoo Bar and to the Bourbon, 1867 bodegas, and Duffy's, you name it. Any venue downtown, there's incredible bands that come through, and people support them just like they would a local band. So it's something else. It really is. Yep. It's a memorable experience for a lot of touring bands to come through here. So kind of gives us a lot of national cred, I think, I think so too. Well, I've met some, lifelong friends just from bands that were coming through, like Union Specific came through and became good pals of ours, and then lo and behold, Kim and Megan Taruk, Kim was playing bass with Union Specific, but they decided to plant roots here. They moved here. yeah. So guys like Billy Bacon, better testimonial than that, I guess. Yeah, well, Billy Bacon too, man. Legendary. He'd play Zoo Bar, week-long stints at the Zoo Bar, and he was from Austin and lived in Austin, the majority of his life. And then, I would sit on the phone with him for hours on end, and he would say, I got to get back to, I want to move to Lincoln. And then I'd say, you should, man, let me help you move to Lincoln. Let's get you back here. And, it's just, it's crazy, and then he finally moved back here, and he ended up passing away just not too long after. But what a sad story, but such a beautiful story, really, because he kind of, I feel like Lincoln was kind of his home in so many respects. He just had so much love here. Yep. Yeah. He just wanted to kind of come back. We had another band name come in, Sower of Songs. That's a good one. Very nice. I like that, Mr. McKinney. Okay, can we get like 5 to 10 more band names? I know we've been talking when I talk to you, it's effortless and we can go on.
Yeah,
we've been talking for 2 hours, you know.
We could do one of those telethons.
This is 2 hours, man. I can't believe it. It's incredible. When I talk to you, it feels like 5 minutes, but we've been talking for 2 hours. This is incredible. For anybody still with us, thank you so much. This is like a long-winded conversation full of a ton of really fun stuff, but thank you for joining us. And
yeah, thanks.
Let's get like 5 to 10 more band names. Can we get three-word band names? And I'm going to include Carrie's Step Off Billy because I think that's really cool. I think that's actually a good one.
That's kind of a good quiet storm.
Yeah, it's a good quiet storm band. We need 3-word band names, folks. Let's see what you got. Bring them in. We have some really fun stuff. Should we prank phone? Let's prank phone call a friend. You want to prank phone call a friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Here, hold on. Who should we prank phone call?
I think you better call Tyler.
Yeah. Let's see what he's doing. Here. He has no clue that we're going to call him right now unless he's watching.
He might be watching, in which case this is a dud.
Can you hear this?
Yes.
Okay. He might not. He might not answer.
Leave him a message if he doesn't.
Hi, this is Tyler Wallace. I'm contact for Union Pacific. I'm not able to come to the phone right now, but please leave me a detailed message.
He's not answering.
I'll be happy to get back to you. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
What a loser. I couldn't even leave a message. I was ready to leave a message.
Clear your voicemail, bud. No, I do the same thing.
Who else should we? Let's prank phone call somebody else. Hey, for anybody listening, who should we call? Give us a number. Let's prank phone call. Who else do we know?
I don't know anybody.
Who else do we know? Okay.
Hannah says we should call Pete Waters.
Oh Jesus! Is that a good idea? Is that a good? I don't know if we should. I don't know. It's pretty late.
It is kind of late. I didn't even think about that.
Oh man, it's 10 o'clock. I don't know if that would be a good idea.
Imagine Pete like, hello. Hannah says 100% yes, we should call Pete Waters.
Okay. Okay, we're going to try it at her request. I'm blaming you.
She said he's a bartender. Come on.
I'm totally blaming you. He's probably not going to answer.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Pete. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. We just had a request to prank phone call you, and we figured you'd call. You're live on the air.
Oh, hi, everybody. How's it going?
Everybody's laughing. I'm really sorry. I didn't want to do this.
Well, I thought you were going to really prank him like this.
Totally fine.
I was really going to mess with you and actually try to order a pizza from you, but I didn't have the balls to do it.
Yeah, I better not. I don't know how to get a pizza for you or to you right now.
Right.
I leave that to the professionals.
I'm blaming Hannah Dem on this one. She said, prank phone call him. He's a bartender. He'll be up. Well, anyway, we love you, Pete. Yeah. Much love to you, man.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Very nice surprise. Good to hear from you.
All right, buddy. Take care. Have a good night. Happy Thursday. Right. Bye-bye.
You too.
We just prank phone called the owner of Zubar. Real nice.
We barely.
It wasn't really a prank.
You can really call it a prank when you're just like, "Hey, man, I like you. You're my friend."
Hey, sorry we called. Let's really prank phone call somebody. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna prank phone call this kid, Josh from the Rewind. Here we go. It's a local band. Let's see if he answers.
What if he gets really mad and starts yelling at you?
That's all right. Screw that. Their band rocks. He'll answer too. Watch. He probably has my number programmed, which isn't going to be fair. Nobody's answering the phone.
It's 10:05, I guess.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
What the hell?
402-890-4410.
I don't want to put his number online.
I mean, we don't need to put him on
No,
blast.
please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey man, this is Pete down at Domino's Pizza. We got an order down here with extra meatballs and broken dreams. So give us a shout out. It's going to be sitting here. Just so you know, we close at 10:30. So you got 24 minutes to get your pizza. And if you don't, we're going to deliver it anyway and just leave it in your mailbox. All right, give us a shout. Bye-bye. Jesus Christ. That didn't go so well.
At least his mailbox was open.
Yeah, it was open. It was. Should we do one more? Let's prank phone call one more. This is kind of fun.
Yeah.
We've been on for 2 hours though.
I mean, I'm game.
Oh my God. All right, who should we do? What else we got here?
Hannah needs to come up with some more.
Who should we prank phone call, ladies and gentlemen? Give us a number. Tony Bongo says Billy is in San Diego. Austin, Texas is where he landed. Oh, that's where he was from. Yeah, but he was in Austin, Texas forever though. Okay.
Hannah says you should call my dad.
Prank Tom. Oh shit. Is that? Let me see.
My phone is being used as my
it's
my
being
camera
used
right now.
Here, private chat me his phone number and I'll call him.
Yeah, Hannah, you'll have to do it. Private chat Mike.
Send me a text. Send me a text with his. Oh yeah, you want me to prank Ricketts? Yeah, that'd go real well. Pete Waters is gonna hate me for this. He's like, dude, you're streaming on my page and you're prank phone calling people. Yeah, somebody. Oh, Tyler sent me a text. That's weird. He sent me a text like, oh my God. Okay, I got it. Here we go. We're gonna call your dad. We're gonna prank him.
Okay.
Here it goes. It's ringing. Is he up?
Yeah.
This is Tom. Please leave a message.
Oh no.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, this is Susan Cutlery down at the State Building. We're calling because there was a mishap with your paperwork. Someone had reported that you had a shoe size of 18. We just want to clarify, was it 18 or 17? We're getting your booties ready. Give us a call back. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Well, that's going to be good because he probably doesn't have your number in his phone.
Yeah, he probably's like, who is that?
My booty.
Oh, my booties. The State Building's getting my booties ready? The hell are they talking about? Oh my God. Gunter, this has been an incredible amount of fun. Thank you for acting like a 12-year-old with me.
Yeah, I love it.
Prank phone calling people and stupid band names. Before we go, we should probably pick
Yeah, let me
a
look
winner.
here. I think
we've got some great ones.
There are some really good ones. I think for my money, the ones I've seen, I like It Ain't Shakespeare from Steph.
What was it?
It Ain't Shakespeare.
I like that one too. It Ain't Shakespeare.
They're all good.
Okay, so that's in the running.
Hannah said Mom's Chex Mix. That's a good one.
TJ Rose got a good one. Billy T Backwash.
That's very good.
That's really good, dude.
That's very good.
I
didn't see that one. I think I'm not seeing all the comments.
Yeah, that was on my personal page.
I see.
What else we got here? There's some great ones. What was that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's some really Deadeye Jedi. Jeez,
I think that might be a name already, actually.
Deadeye Jedi. Yeah, maybe so.
But also, I think Deadeye is one word.
Oh, interesting. Yes. Okay.
That's what I think.
All right. Well, I kind of like TJ Rose. TJ Rowe had a pretty good one with Billy T Backwash, and then Steph Morrissey had
It Ain't Shakespeare.
It Ain't Shakespeare.
What if have you ever tried to play rock, paper, scissors on
No, I haven't. Let's do it. You're okay. Steph, I'm TJ. Ready? Here we go.
Yep.
Or wait, no, better yet, let's do Bear Ninja Cowboy.
Okay, I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so Bear Ninja Cowboy.
What's ninja?
So ninja's this.
Okay.
Bear with your hands out. Ninjas with your chopped hands.
Okay.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
Okay, so Bear's hands out, ninja, and then cowboy.
Cowboy.
Okay, so Bear eats ninja. Okay, and then cowboy kills Bear.
Okay.
And then ninja. What would ninja do? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so Bear Ninja Cowboy. So ninja. Let's see.
Cowboy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what does Bear do?
Okay, screw it. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh, you win. So were you Steph?
Yes.
Okay, so Steph gets number 1, first place. TJ Rowe gets number 2.
Cool.
Darren Kill Cowboy. Darren Wayne Keenan Kill Cowboy. We couldn't even figure out what the hell they did. I remember.
I feel like they could all kill each other.
Yeah, maybe they could. Bear kills ninja. Ninja kills cowboy. Cowboy kills bear. That's right.
Okay, Darren knows.
Darren knows. All right.
Thank you, Darren.
Thanks, Darren. We've had a lot of vodka here. Okay, so perfect. So TJ Rowe, you've won a record of your choice from Mr. Gunter. So Gunter, reach out to him. You know TJ Rowe, right? Do you know him? Okay. And then Steph, I'll reach out to you and see what you want from the Sower Records catalog. Dude, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. Darren Keen's incredible. Thanks for helping us out.
Yeah, thanks, Darren.
Can't wait to hear your new music. He's killing it.
Yeah, he is.
All right, much love, dude. You're one of my best friends in the whole wide world. I love you.
Likewise, buddy.
And I can't wait to continue to make music with you in the future and see what you do. It's incredible.
Yeah, in person, man. In person.
In person. That's right. We'll get back. We'll get back there. And make sure to donate to the Nebraska Performing Arts Hall of Fame via PayPal, as you see on the bottom of your screen, and Venmo, Nebraska Arts, at Nebraska Arts right there. So you please throw us like $3 to $5. Like I said, it helps us pay for plaques and induct bands. And soon we're going to have a statewide arts award show that we're putting together. So that should be very, very cool. And that will be statewide, which we're very excited about. So the more money we can bring in for these cool conversations, the better. So awesome blossom. Günter Voelker, thank you so much, buddy. All right, man. Much love to you, man. We'll see you.
Later, buddy.
Cheers to you, man. Adios, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for over 2 hours. This is crazy.
Yeah, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.